I think that I will read some small stories out of Fierce Fairy Tales, Poems and Stories to Stir Your Soul. And the first one is The Stepmother's Tale. People are going to betray you the way Judas betrayed Jesus, the way Brutus betrayed Caesar, and you will love them anyway. And betrayal comes in so many different shapes and forms. No one ever tells you how death, too, is a form of betrayal. How life, too, betrays you by robbing you of the person you depend on, your soulmate. She didn't start that way. None of us is truly born evil. Evil is man-made. When she was a beautiful young girl who grew up working in her father's flour mill, a good daughter with a light heart. Girls were expected to be during that time. She never complained, no matter how hard or burdensome the work was. When she turned 18, she began to accompany her father to the market to sell the flour they made. And a rich, handsome merchant saw her, this lovely, hard-working young woman with an easy smile. Unlike most men of his time, he was progressive. Instead of asking her father's permission immediately to marry her, he asked permission from her first, and her father if he could court her. He wasn't handsome, but he had a soft look about his eyes and gentle hands, and it was long into their courtship that she fell in love with him. They married and had 2 little daughters, and as fairy tales like this go, should have had a happily ever after. But life instead had a tale of woe and planned for this woman and her girls. Soon after the 7th birthday of her second daughter, her husband took ill and died. Whilst grieving for the man she loved, she learned how unkind the world is to a single mother of daughters. Where she once had plenty of comfort to live in and provide her children with, soon the debt collectors started appearing at every hour and a quarter. She looked for work, found nothing suitable for the mother of 2 small children. Months faded to years. Slowly they grew more and more destitute, till she did the only thing she could do in dark desperation. She found another man, one she did not love, but who was grieving his lost love too, and married him, promising to give his orphaned child a mother. Desperation turns people sour, and she now saw life as an open wound, a shallow promise, a dark thing that should have loved her but instead tried to drown her. Her beauty fading, she recognized that she had failed to pass on her looks to her 2 daughters, and now she knew how important it is for a woman to be beautiful, as it is the only currency she truly had in this world. She became even more bitter. So when she saw Cinderella and her goodness and her beauty, all she could think is, that used to be me. And the more she saw the kindness that was in Cinderella, the more she wanted to take it from her, so Cinderella would understand how awful life can be. She is cruel to Cinderella because she wants to teach her in her own terrible, misguided way that life is not going to be kind just because you are pretty, and yet your beauty is your only true currency. If I could just teach you how to be cautious and cruel instead of so naive and kind, I could stop you from becoming yet another me. And the next story is 2 Misunderstood Stepsisters. If you ever want to have a look at the way a word can totally demean and destroy the entire worth and value of a woman, just look at what the word ugly did to Cinderella's 2 stepsisters. Children aren't born abusive. It's nurtured in them. Children aren't born ugly either. They learn to hate themselves from society's narrow-minded ideas about how they must feel unsatisfied in their own skin. Let me start at the beginning of this tale, one filled with considerable pain for all involved. These 2 sisters may have seemed fortunate because they had pretty dresses and nice things, but they also had the misfortune of growing up as the not-so-pretty daughters of one of the most beautiful women in the world, a burden that they bore on their little bones till their bodies had no choice but to grow fangs. This is what real damage looks like, a sweet, innocent little girl being told over and over again how ugly she is till it becomes a storm raining down on her innocence, forcing her to choose cruelty over kindness. You can give her a million lovely things in the form of silks and necklaces and diamonds, but through your cruel words, you are still killing the thing which is more valuable inside her, the softness inside her soul. This is also what the human instinct to survive looks like. You become the thing that hurts you till it can hurt you no more. First and foremost, girls are survivors. We are trained to expect the world to be toxic to us, make the best of a bad situation by developing the skills to survive it. No one ever says the skills won't be toxic. No one ever mentions how we are cruel sometimes and we don't choose it. So when they see Cinderella, a girl who bears both the envied beauty that they have been tormented about, as well as an innocence they were robbed of, they take out their rage on her. This is what happens when girls are taught other girls are competition instead of their sisters. This is what happens when we make women think their outer beauty is all that matters. We end up stealing from their hearts, their souls, their softness, by making them believe that none of that really matters. This is what I mean when I say, if all girls were taught how to love each other fiercely instead of how to compete with each other and hate their own bodies, what a different and beautiful world we would live in.